Good evening, folks, and a very, very warm welcome to yet another episode of the Geelong Region Soccer Show podcast. My name is Tonchi Prusak, and tonight it's episode 197. We're only 3 episodes away from our 200th episode. Big announcements being made tonight. We've talked about it. Massive, massive announcements. It's going to be a shorter show, but a punchier show. Short but sharp, short but sweet, whatever you want to say. But some major announcements being made today. The biggest announcement, I guess, is the fact that we have we're running a GoFundMe page at the moment, and thank you to several sponsors, donors, advertisers. We've raised at last count about $700. Biggest people I need to thank: Rob Kasha, Dave Ray, Marina Krasik, Aaron Petman, all people who are involved in the football community. Rubes as well, Rubes D. They've all given at least $100. So thank you to them. That's the reason why we've been able to raise $700. So we thank you so much for that. It's a big thing. That, coupled with the fact that announced earlier today, Eddie Contel, who in his I guess role as a football enthusiast, football community activist, and I stress this not as a councillor, not a member of the City of Greater Geelong Council, as an individual who sees what the community is all about. Well, he's sponsored 2 episodes. Episode 21 today, episode 22 next week as well. As I said, coupled with the 2 the 2 episodes worth of sponsorship through the GoFundMe page, and also the Masters Summer League, who have sponsored episode 23. We have enough for 25 episodes. We may even get to 26 or 27, depending on how the GoFundMe page goes as well. We've also got some advertising sponsored United League Security. Mind you, Vlad, who owns United League Security, is Melbourne-based. He does operate some of his events and things like that in Geelong. So if you do need any security guards for any function or anything like that, United League Security. We've also got private nursing care as well. A local registered nurse who's quite heavily involved as a soccer mum in the local community. Offering home care nursing as well, and that is usually done through aged care packages and private arrangements and things like that. Thank you to those people. Thank you so much for that sponsorship. It means a massive, massive thing to us. But Eddie Contel, why has Eddie stepped in? Now, I'm going to read this for the benefit of all those people that listen to this podcast, usually through YouTube, on their way to work the following day, and don't actually see what's on the screen. So why has Eddie stepped in? When Eddie Contel, known to many as the Deputy Mayor of the City of Greater Geelong Council, heard that the Geelong Regional Soccer Show podcast was about to end due to a lack of funding, he felt the Geelong soccer community stood to lose something extremely valuable. As a long-time Geelong local and a parent whose daughters played soccer in Geelong, he understood the importance of having a dedicated voice for the sport. Personal connection to local football. Many people know Eddie as Deputy Mayor, but this support isn't coming from council. It's coming from Eddie as a father, husband, lifelong Geelong resident and soccer parent. His daughters play for Bell Park Sports Club and Geelong Soccer Club, so he has seen firsthand the positive impact that football has on younger people and families. Why the show matters. This is what Eddie says. This is his quote. Tonchi and the Geelong Regional Soccer Show podcast fill a gap that mainstream media largely doesn't. It gives local players, volunteers, coaches, clubs and supporters a voice. Once something like this disappears, it's very difficult to get it back. Call to the local soccer football community. Eddie's sponsorship of shows 21 this week and 22 next week is a lifeline, not a long-term solution. His message is simple. If the soccer community values this platform, now is the time to support it. Don't wait until it's gone and then complain there's no local soccer coverage. And a final message from Eddie. Geelong has an incredibly passionate football community. Tonchi's work shines a light on the people and clubs who make our game great. I want to help keep that voice alive, but it can't be left to one person. I encourage clubs, businesses, and supporters to get behind the show financially so we can continue serving our soccer community for years to come. Eddie Contel, we salute you. Thank you so much for what you have done. As I said, next week it's Eddie Contel's sponsored show once again. The week after that will be the Masters Summer League, and thereafter it's basically up to the how much we raise from the GoFundMe page. So the GoFundMe campaign. At last count, we had $700, and as a result, that is the equivalent of 2 episodes. So we will see out 25 season 20 up to 25 episodes. We're hoping to also extend that a little bit further so that we actually can cover the local league community for all the local community league finals. Tonight, on tonight's show, that's a big announcement. That's one of the major announcements, but we've got 2 other big announcements. Now, just before the show went to air, thanks to Dynamo TV, which I actually used to compare last year and produce, in my role as owner-manager of Community Sports Media Services. The fine folk down at St Albans Dynamo Football Club have passed on to us an exclusive interview with Geelong's own Anthony Leban, who was the scorer of one of the goals against Hume City last Friday. I had the pleasure of commentating that game for NPL Victoria. He was also last week named in the NPL Victoria Team of the Week. And he is one of 22 players that News Limited journalist Ben Higgins has earmarked as a player in the NPL Victoria competition that the A-League clubs should be taking a good look at. That interview, it's not a long interview. That interview, though, will come a little bit later on in the show. Also, we've got a major and an exclusive announcement to be made on this show a little bit later on. It involves one of Geelong's biggest clubs and the future of one of Geelong's biggest clubs. That you do not want to miss. That's coming up after tonight's news desk, which follows very, very shortly after this short advertisement from United League Security. United League Security is your sports security specialists, keeping your employees, guests and assets safe at all times. At United League Security, we can assist with all security needs, but we specialise in event and sports security. We provide licensed security services throughout Victoria with an established presence in Melbourne, Ballarat, Bendigo and of course Geelong. We support a wide range of clients including logistics providers, event organisers, hospitality venues and commercial property managers who require consistent site-aware protection. Our team of experienced security professionals is dedicated to ensuring the safety and security of your event so you can focus on providing a great experience for your attendees. For more information about any of our services, contact us on 8624 0599 or visit our website at www.unitedleaguesecurity.com.au. And thank you for joining us here on the news desk. We've got some footage of the Geelong Galaxy game that was played on the weekend. There we go. There's some footage there. And thank you to Branko Kristevski for sending us the highlights package of the Galaxy Ballarat City game that was played on the weekend. As we can see, Galaxy seemed to dominate this game. They had quite a fair few opportunities. Game being played at Bannockburn Recreation Precinct, where Galaxy have moved their home games this season. And this is the second goal coming up. It was a 2-0 win to Galaxy. Could be called the Ballarat Highway. Could be called, I guess, the Ballarat Highway Derby, that one. But well done to Geelong Galaxy. taking a 2-0 lead and holding on to that after 58 minutes. And Sugimori scoring in the 18th minute. Jade Feeks in the 58th minute. And the Galaxy running out 2-0 winners in the end. Well done. Good result there for the home side. They solidify their place in 5th position, but it is quite close from 5th right up until about 2nd. So round 19 sees Galaxy travel to 9th place Manningham United. That game is next Saturday week. So it's not this Saturday. There's a catch-up round happening this weekend in the Victorian Premier League women's competition. This game will be played the following Saturday, August the 8th at 3 p.m. kickoff. And moving along to North Geelong. North Geelong lost to Brunswick Juventus on the weekend, 3-0 against Juventus, who were in second place or are still in second place. This weekend, North Geelong coming up against Bulleen Lions. This game kicking off at Alco Park at 5 p.m. Ladder after round 22 sees Bulleen Lions in 5th position and North Geelong Warriors in 9th spot. 5 points separate those two teams. And welcome back. We do sincerely apologise. It looks like there may have been some sort of copyright issue, possibly with some of the music that was being played. And it looks like Facebook decided to shut us down, but we are back up again. So we'll continue where we basically stopped, and we're looking at the Victorian Premier League women's competition. Geelong Galaxy winning on the end on the weekend 2-0 against Ballarat City. We then move along to the Victorian Premier League men's Division 1 competition. A bad day at the office for the North Geelong Warriors, who came away from second place Brunswick Juventus 3-0 losers. This weekend, they've got a chance to redeem themselves when they host the 5th place Bulleen Lions at Alco Park. The game kicking off at 5 p.m. As you can see by the slide there, Bulleen Lions, they're in 5th position. The Warriors are in 9th at the moment. Certainly no fear of any relegation or anything like that, but nonetheless, they do want to start winning some more games, that's for sure. Now, moving along to the State League. It wasn't a very good day at the office either for Geelong Soccer Club, who was surprised by lowly Western Suburbs, who are indeed fighting for their survival in State League 1. The Lions came away from Ralph Reserve with a 3-0 loss. Surf Coast also suffered a loss on its home turf to bottom place Corio in State League 2 action. 1-0 loss or 1-0 win to Corio. Federico Tempestilli scoring the only goal of the game for the Eagles. Geelong Rangers drew with Williamstown 1-1. Kai Williams scoring the only goal for the Rangers up at Myers Reserve. In State League 4, what a game this one was. A 7-goal absolute thriller. Westside Strikers, the home side, losing to Bell Park 3-4. Nicholas Musso scoring 2. Gianmarco Algerino scoring 1. And Liam Muscat also scoring 1 goal for the All Whites. Keeps them in the promotion hunt as they continue to stay in second spot in State League 4. Over the page, State League 5. Heidelberg Stars easily accounted for bottom place Lara United 4-0. And Deakin Ducks certainly did their promotion hopes no harm with a 4-2 win over Newport Storm. Matt Humphreys, Brenton Rees, Jeremiah Jacoby, and Sam Wyeth all getting on the scoreboard there for the Ducks. State League 6 action saw Truganina Hornets defeat Ocean Grove 3-2. Young Lockie Mikats scoring both goals for Ocean Grove. And despite yet another goal by Finn Murphy, that's taken his tally to well over 20 goals. Unfortunately, he scored the only goal for Bowen. It wasn't enough as West Point ran away 2-1 winners away from Grovedale Reserve. Looking at the fixtures this weekend, we've got round 18. State League 1 sees the big Macedonian derby at Keilor Lodge Reserve. Second place Geelong travels to sister club, and third place Sydenham Park, who are in third spot, and that should be an absolute fantastic game, that one. No doubt there'll be a big crowd on hand, but it's a must-win game for the Lions. They really, really need this win if they want to maintain a top 2 spot in State League 1. In State League 2, Friday night football, we'll see Coria taking on Geelong Rangers, so bottom of the cellar dwellers. They might be on the bottom of the ladder, but there's a lot at stake here. And I tell you what, it's a real 6-pointer, because if either of these two teams want to get away from the relegation zone, this Friday night game at Hume Reserve is a must-win game for both sides. 8:30 p.m, a little bit later kickoff time. So hopefully this will attract a bumper crowd there to Hume Reserve. The following day, Surf Coast travels to 9th place Brimbank Stallions. Coasters are in 7th spot at the moment, and they've really drifted from once upon a time looking like they could be promotion candidates, but they'll certainly be looking to finish the season off in the best way possible. Bell Park, big game for the All Whites on Saturday night. Some massive games happening down in Geelong this weekend. They take on 4th place Laverton. Bell Park currently in 2nd spot. They cannot afford to drop any points. A must-win game for Bell Park. They really, really need to do well here and get all 3 points. In State League 5, Lara United at home to Bendigo City at Lara Recreation Reserve, while Deakin Ducks travel to second last place Thornbury Athletic. That game at LE Cochin Reserve at 3 p.m. In State League 6 action, Ocean Grove hosts bottom side Glenroy Lions at Shell Road Reserve, while Bowen travels to third place Moreland Eagles, and that game at Rupert Wallace Reserve kicking off at 3 p.m. It wasn't the best result for North Geelong, but nonetheless they fought hard to contain the new competition leaders, Caroline Springs, eventually going down 3-5. Tiana Mahalik, Maeve McKenna, and Nagiko Chiba scoring singles apiece for the Warriors. This is a Victorian Women's State League 1 competition. This Saturday, Warriors are at home to Altona City, and another tough game. This one at home, kicking off at 3 p.m, will be played on the second pitch ahead of the senior men's game at 5 p.m. Now, the ladder as it stands in Victorian State League 1 Women's is Altona City are third, 17 points clear of North Geelong in 8th position. All right, let's focus now on the local league. It was round 8 time in the men's Division 1 competition. Surf Coast defeated Deakin Ducks 3-1. Bell Park defeated Geelong Rangers up at Myers Reserve 2-0. A good win by FC Leopold over Barwon 4-2. And Golden Plains drew with Armstrong United 0-0. A good result there for Armstrong United, who are knocking on the top 4. This Friday night, we've got all 4 fixtures happening this Friday night. Barwon taking on Deakin Ducks, FC Leopold at home to Geelong Rangers, Armstrong United at home to Surf Coast, and Bell Park hosting Golden Plains. That says 3 p.m. It should be 8:30 p.m. or 8:15 p.m. in fact. On to the Women's Division 1 results. In round 8, Geelong Rangers lost to Ocean Grove at home 1-4. Bell Park lost to Surf Coast 1-6. Lara United drew with the Deakin Ducks 1-1. And the last result, Barwon defeated Armstrong United 7-0. This weekend, all the round 9 fixtures will be on Saturday. And top 10 Barwon host 6th place Geelong Rangers at 1 p.m. Massive day of football there. Bell Park at home to Lara United in a 4th versus 5th battle up at Batesford. That game kicking off at 2 p.m. Surf Coast at home to Ocean Grove, and that game at 2:30 p.m. at Banyule Warrior Reserve. Deakin Ducks at hosting Armstrong United at Deakin, with the game kicking off at 3 p.m. We've got some very, very talented young school kids at the moment, local Geelong kids representing Victoria in football at the School Sports Australian Championships from the 26th to the 31st of July, which is this week. And from left to right, we've got Rocco Kovacek from the Western Heights College, Dominic Postorino from St. Joey's College in Geelong, Marcus Bay from Western Heights, and Piper Smith from Clonard College. Big thank you to Josie Postorino, who sent through those photos and that little bit of information as well. Also, big shout out to the Western Heights year 9 and 10s, who are off to Albury on Wednesday to take on the best of the Riverina area region in the Bill Turner Cup, the Bill Turner Schoolboys Cup. Should they win that, they progress, I think, to the finals, which will be held in Sydney a little bit later on this year. So good luck to Western Heights College. I think that's it for the news desk. I'm pretty sure that's all it for the news desk. Where we've got we're going to take a very, very short break. When we return, it's time for the big announcement. Like I said, it involves one major Geelong club, but it also involves another Geelong club as well. Stay tuned for that. That's coming up after this very short commercial break.
The world is yours. So work hard, and you can have whatever it is you want.
Yes, it is.
We're coming to you from the Bannockburn Sports Precinct, or Bannockburn Recreation Reserve, on what is an historic occasion, because these two clubs, Geelong Galaxy United and Golden Plains, the two Gs, have come together to form a co-tenancy agreement. And first of all, to Aaron Petman, the president of Geelong Galaxy. First of all, Aaron, before I continue, thank you for all of your support. When I say all of your support, all of Galaxy's support this year on the Geelong Region Soccer Show podcast. Greatly appreciated. But mate, tell us about this agreement, because this is quite groundbreaking.
Well, it is groundbreaking. It's pretty special for us, and it's very, very much appreciated that Golden Plains have taken us on board and been so kind and loving and caring towards us, because that's what they've been. So we've come together and sort of discussed what we as a club can maybe offer Golden Plains in support of growing their programs and supporting their programs and that kind of thing. So we asked for 5 years, to spend 5 years here minimum, and I think we've come to terms and agreed that might be the case. And,
so 5-year agreement for the club, seniors and juniors, to be basically based here.
Based here. So that sort of includes a couple of nights a week training for facilities, and then all of our fixtured games.
Yeah, must be both an exciting moment for you, but also a moment of relief. The fact that the club now has got a base that it can call its own, it can start planning long term even as well. What does this mean for Galaxy?
Well, it means that sort of we're in a position that we can potentially write our own destiny to a degree, right? It sort of means that we've got the freedom to look at our programs and develop our programs without having sort of that weight or pressure of what that might look like with another club involved, whether it be a merger or an amalgamation. So we've got that ability now to just focus our energy purely on the girls and the women at the club and put all of those resources into that football department and teams.
We'll talk about that in a sec, about the girls and the juniors and the seniors and the season so far, which has been a pretty good year. But to Donna, thank you for, once again, also to, we talk about Galaxy, but Golden Plains as well have been great supporters of our show, providing a donation early in the year. Not many clubs in Geelong have supported our show, our podcast, but you guys have, so thank you so much for that. Don, it's been a busy year and it's culminating in this joint tenancy agreement. First of all, how have you seen the 2026 season so far?
We've definitely had strong numbers. Participation in soccer has been strong.
Is it record numbers?
It's steady.
Yeah.
We're holding strong as a community club. We're not a very big club, but we're definitely doing okay. We're in a great position to be in. We've still got 17 teams, but you can see that we've got big participations in women and girls. And
senior men, senior women's, juniors as well. Well, the club's about to grow even bigger now with the presence of Galaxy. What a fantastic announcement that is. What does that mean exactly for Golden Plains and for the region here in the Golden Plains Shire to have Geelong Galaxy on board?
We're excited to have Galaxy on board. We've had big conversations on how we can support them, definitely. It's definitely great for the community, great for the club. It's great for the sport. It supports women and girls in soccer, which is what our beliefs also. That's where we're going. Obviously, wanting to support the women in the sport.
Absolutely, fantastic. Yeah, I mean that is without a doubt. It's great to see. And look, as far as you mentioned, the numbers are really growing. And the club's obviously growing. That means, we've got fantastic facilities here, we talked about that, but does that mean there's also a provision maybe to increase the number of playing fields, increase the facilities here? Because I've heard sort of on the grapevine that there are plans afoot to maybe even make this impressive precinct even more impressive.
Yeah, it's definitely been a plan we've had the last couple of years with the strong growing community and football growing in the region. We've definitely had a plan to build on this club, and we have got two really great pitches, fantastic pitches. They've been the best in the region through the bad weather. We've seen the advertising, but we've definitely got the best facility that you have in the region. We've had conversations with council over.
How is the council here?
They're supporting Football Victoria and council. Golden Plains Council have supported the move with Galaxy. Also, seeing it as a great positive for the town and the community, for small businesses. It's definitely bringing a lot of people. You can see a lot of energy and the place is buzzing.
Awesome. And like I said, there's plans afoot for a third pitch, a multi-purpose facility just adjacent to the current setup. Is that right?
Yeah, correct. That's already plans written up for that. So it's a multi-purpose sporting precinct, which is northeast of, which is just adjacent to this. Facility. There'll be new pitches and a new synthetic pitch.
Oh wow!
A full synthetic pitch and club rooms. So that's in the future. We're not sure when that's going to happen. So we've also short term now. We've had Galaxy involved. They've been here for a few months. We've found we're struggling a little bit with room. Of course, we've had 40% participation growth in the last few months with Galaxy on board. So. We started talking about with council maybe the possibility of putting a small pitch in between both our two pitches, which will count as a warm-up area, which will alleviate the pressure on game days. And also we've got an all abilities program. we've also got a goalkeeping program that Tonkinda runs.
Yep.
So we've got a few things going on
Yeah.
also that will give it a space for that. So
Excellent.
hopefully we can get that off the ground.
Yeah. Well, Aaron, over to you. I guess the pressure's on now. If the team can get into NPLW and be a part of the elite division here in Victoria, the local politicians, federal, state councils, etc., they have to stop and look, won't they? They really have to. And it is a state election year, so this is where we can certainly get something out of all of these politicians.
We'll give it a nudge. I think every sports club is always asking, and I think, if you look at the region, whether it be Golden Plains or Geelong or Surf Coast, there's always a push for infrastructure and it's needed, I think, those growth pockets, it's always important, so we've definitely asked a lot of questions of council in the last 12 months. And I'm sure prior to that as well, in regards to infrastructure and training facilities and that kind of thing, and we'll continue to do that. We've engaged, with a couple of really great conversations with Christine Cousins, and she's very, very supportive of the conversations we've had. We haven't asked for anything too drastic. It's just, we need to facilitate with NPL. You've got 3 nights a week training, so we've got to find the facilities to be able to do that. So, with that kind of thing, there's a lot of support behind the words. We just need to make sure that there's an action.
Now the team's doing really well. The senior women's team are currently in the top third of the competition standings in the VPLW, probably the best that has been in recent years. Having Jake Butler, former New Zealand international, at the club and running the show as far as the senior women's is concerned, that must be such a boost. But also the young lasses themselves, they seem to be going to a new level as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think with the likes of Jake in the program, it's definitely taken it and elevated it to a completely new level, and that has been profound. His influence has been profound. He's a phenomenal guy. The way that he gets on with the girls, his levels and standards of what his expectations are phenomenal. The girls have gotten behind him and supported him, and we've had a pretty phenomenal season, especially opposed to last year's season. So we're getting a bit excited a few weeks ago because we were right on the cusp there, and a couple of points away from the top. And the girls have been playing really consistent good football, which is a testament again to Jake and his program and how he's executed.
Now he's formerly coached at the junior level, hasn't he? His daughter Lila was playing in the juniors. Now he's obviously at the seniors. It must help that you've got a coach. He's high calibre in his playing days, and he's been a senior coach in the region with Geelong previously. But also the fact that he understands the junior pathways as well. That must certainly help because the girls have been doing really well.
Yeah, absolutely. So you've got, once again, we mentioned this the last time we chatted, you've got a couple of young ladies that are playing in our 17s that have been featuring in the seniors. You've got Lavina Wade on the bench today, so she's sort of starting to have a bit of a presence at training, and that's sort of Hannah Walsh, who's been sort of consistent within. Consistent within the program. It's still going. He's completely aware, and obviously he's had that bit of background, having daughters himself, and he's a pretty invested father. So you can see that he sort of navigates the landscape and makes sure that those pathways are available for these clubs as well.
Well, thanks guys. It's an exciting time for football, for women's football in the region, and you've heard it here first. Broken here on the Geelong Region Soccer Show podcast. A landmark 5-year deal between Geelong Galaxy and Golden Plains here at Bannockburn Recreation Precinct. Folks, thank you so much for your support, and thanks so much for allowing us to be the medium to break this news exclusively. Thank you, and all the best.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much.
We'll be back very, very shortly after this short break.
When you or a loved one need professional nursing care at home, experience and compassion matter. Private Nursing Care provides personalised, one-on-one nursing services throughout the Geelong and Surf Coast region. Delivered by registered nurse Christina Skorjanic. Services include diabetes management, wound care, medication management, home care package assessments, continence and catheter care, compression stocking application, nursing reviews and personal care, tailored to meet your individual needs. Whether you're recovering from illness, living with a chronic condition, or simply require ongoing nursing support, Private Nursing Care is committed to helping you remain safe, comfortable and independent in your own home. To learn more or arrange a consultation, contact Christina at Private Nursing Care. Private Nursing Care, professional nursing, personalised for you.
And now the team in red is starting to knock the ball around, trying to take advantage of the confusion. Charan now intercepts there. He's got Leban in the middle of the park. Goes out to Nicholas Koek, to Inoue. He stops, props, goes to his right side. Monek now. He's got a lethal left foot. He goes to the back of the post. There's no one there. And Leban now on his right. And he's got it. It's 1-0 to St Albans Dynamo in the 22nd minute. Number 6, Anthony. Yes, 23-year-old former North Geelong player Anthony Leban doing very, very well in the NPL Victoria competition. In fact, last week in News Limited publication, the Leader the newspapers, Ben Higgins compiled a list of 22 NPL Victoria stars that the A-League clubs must watch. One of those was Geelong's own Anthony Leban. He's only 23, but feels like he's been around, having made his debut at 15 for North Geelong. Went through the Melbourne Victory developments squad, or the academy program. Spent some time in Croatia before returning to North Geelong in 2024. Last year, he spent some time at Port Melbourne, and there was a sizable Geelong connection there at Port Melbourne Sharks before joining St Albans Dynamo in for the 2026 season. Highly skilled midfielder who can control the game when he wants to, could thrive in the right environment. And last week, he was named in the NPL Victoria Round 21 Team of the Week, and also has been nominated for the July Rising Star. So well done to Anthony Leban. Seems to be doing very, very well there at the NPL Victoria competition. Now, thanks to St Albans Dynamo Football Club and to Dynamo TV, just prior to going on air, we managed to obtain an exclusive interview that Dynamo TV's Laura Mushura held with Anthony straight after last Friday night's game against Hume City at Churchill Reserve.
Dynamo fans, it's Laura Mushura here from Dynamo TV, joined with Anthony Leban. Leban, congratulations on the win. To come away with a 3-2 win against Hume, who are also second on the ladder, is a massive result. What do you have to say about the boys' performance tonight?
It was a grind. We came in with half-time with a 2-goal lead, and then, we just wanted to come out like we did in the first half, and yeah, we hung on in the end. 3-2. It was a bit scrappy, but we'll take the win. So it was a good effort by the boys.
Absolutely, and definitely much needed as well. Look, you were obviously recognised as the NPL June 2026 Rising Star. Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah.
How rewarding has that been, and how has that felt, giving you that extra bit of confidence going into the second half of the season?
Yeah, no, I was pretty happy with getting that. I was a bit surprised. I've been playing well, but I don't know. I was too old for it, but we'll take it. Rising Star, and we're going.
Look, before that, you were obviously at Port Melbourne as well, and then I believe in Croatia too. Why Dynamo?
I'm a Dynamo supporter, so it made it easy. But yeah, I played for North Geelong my whole life, and then second club was Dynamo. Come to the games here and there, so and it's a good club, good family club. So yeah.
And if you had to pick one out of the two, North Geelong or Dynamo?
No, I can't comment. I love both the clubs.
Which means it's
Anthony Leban, he's being put on the spot there. Thank you very much to Laura Mushura from Dynamo TV and to everyone at St Albans Dynamo Football Club for allowing us exclusive access to that interview that was conducted with Anthony immediately after last Friday night's game. There are some good, talented young players, I'm telling you, from the Geelong region playing up at various clubs up in Melbourne and including the NPL Victoria VPL 1 competition as well. Massive thank you to everyone who has supported us with our GoFundMe campaign. As I said, prior to this show, I think something like $700 had been raised. So the link is in the comments section there. Please donate as whatever you can donate. Anything small, anything large. It certainly goes a long way to keeping this program on air, but also it shows that the football community in Geelong really does care as well about having a weekly podcast devoted to the beautiful game, the world game, from a local level. It's a chance, as I said there, a chance for the wider football community of Geelong to show that you really do care about further promoting your sport and having a forum to discuss all things local football in an otherwise tough AFL-dominated market and city. Congratulations to Golden Plains and to Geelong Galaxy United, two clubs that have directly supported this program this year. Also, big shout out to North Geelong Warriors, to Bell Park Soccer Club, Bell Park Sports Club, and to the Surf Coast Football Club as well. Those are the other clubs that have directly assisted us both financially and resource-wise this year. That's pretty much it for this week's program. Thank you once again to Eddie Contel, who sponsored this week's show. He's also sponsored next week's show. So I look forward to having your company again next Monday night on the Geelong Region Soccer Show podcast. Once again, thank you very much. Good night.